Alright everybody, I wanted to do a video on why I don't think Bic lighters are actually that good, simply because of the price of them and they're not refillable. So I'll go into that and why, I'm not a big fan of them. So with Bic lighters, you've got two kind of types. They vary in size, but you've got your standard sort of disposable Bic lighter, very simple design. You do that, it lights, but it's not massive. You can't fill all that, keep all that much fuel in there. And the main reason I don't like Bic lighters is they're not refillable. You can refill them by piercing that bit, filling it with gas, and then resealing it, but that's quite a fiddly process, and they're not designed to be used. And then you've got these piezoelectric Bics, which are, I think, better than those, but they cost a bit more. And again, here's the issue: not refillable easily, not designed to be refilled. So you've got those two kind of Bics, and the reason I think most people who actually have thought about it like Clippers more is for the price of a few Bics you can buy a few Clippers. They're very similar in price, but Clippers, I prefer the mechanism on them, and they hold a bit more fuel than one of these Bics, at least the smaller Bics. But the Clipper lighters actually are refillable. As you can see on the bottom there's your refilling port. They've got, it's completely possible to refill a Bic lighter, a Clipper, but with Bics you have to sort of mess about with it to be able to do it, which I don't think's as good, that you've got that option. So if you were just buying them as disposable lighters, you could go for one of these, which is like a much cheaper disposable lighter. We get them over here in Poundland or corner shops or whatever, and these they don't light quite as well as Bics. That's the only real difference. But these lighters are about £1 for 6 of them, whereas a Bic for £1 you'd only get 1 or 2 at most. So even if the Bic is a slightly better lighter of the two, obviously this cheapo one here is better than the Bic in my opinion, simply because you get more for the money. And what I also find funny is for a similar price of buying a few Bics, you can actually buy more of these Torjet lighters, which are little jet lighters, which are refillable. Apparently you can only refill them a few times before they stop working, but that's at least, more uses out of something that's roughly the same price for a better lighter, because it's a jet lighter. So if you're using it on a windy day, you don't need to use as much fuel. So let's, for example, show you. If I had these two lighters, see, it doesn't easily go out. If I did the same thing with a Bic, out. So the Torjets are much better in, that for that reason. They don't go out easily, and you get that cool looking red flame. I guess they've treated it with some sort of, chemical compound on there to give it that cool looking flame, but there we go. So the other thing as well is with refillable lighters, you can buy a big can of butane gas like this. This isn't the, refined butane. It's not good for expensive lighters, but for ones you don't really care about when they gunge up and just chuck them away. Refillable butane. This is £1 or £2 for a bottle of this size, and this is quite a big capacity one. It's 300 millilitres. So it says 50 ml free, but we'll just assume that 300 millilitres is what you'd normally get for £1 or £2. So for that, you could obviously refill one of these Clipper lighters lots of times over. If you contrast the size of the lighter to the can, this can of here, you can contrast the Clipper to it, you'd see you could fill that Clipper up loads of times from one of these for not much money. But for roughly the price of getting one of these, you could get a couple more Bics, and then you've only got a couple more refills. You've got no refills essentially before these run out, and that's the end of your lighter. So although yes, it is possible to refill a Bic, although you're not meant to. If I was going to have to buy a disposable lighter, I'd just go for these, just simply because I'd get a lot more fuel for my money than I would with a Bic, even if the lighters are not quite as good. But you can at least do the flamethrower trick with these easier. So that's obviously like the two types of things, but yeah, I'd say Clippers are much better than Bics for the simple reason of that the Clipper holds a bit more fuel than the Bic, and it's refillable. There we go. But as said, piezoelectrics are the better Bics, but the problem is, again, they cost a bit more and you can't refill them. And for the price of these, you could get Torjets cheaper, which are actually much cooler, better lighters. So there we go. What's better out of a Clipper and a Bic? The Clipper, easily.